Hello, everyone. Welcome to our next episode of Agents of AI, sponsored and affiliated by Capto, the provider of custom AI agents for financial departments, logistics departments, tax departments, and legal departments primarily in Europe, but also around the globe. My name is Peter Stubbe. I am the community founder for Capto and host of the program. For those of you who are joining us for the first time, you will see that our guest is a special anonymized avatar, and that's the unique format that we have for this program. We like to focus on people's insights and contributions before revealing their true identity at the end. So stay tuned. We will reveal their identity or guess along the way. A lot of people have fun with that as well too, and we try to put in some hints for you to guess who they are. But in any case, why don't we get started right away? This guest of ours, I'm smiling as I always am on this program, but the reason that I'm smiling is that we've worked really hard to bring them to this event and this feature, and it's actually one of their first times participating in a format like this. So that brings us special joy as well. But why don't I leave it to them to introduce themselves? We're going to refer to them as the CFO, but the O stands for Owl. So go ahead, Mr. CFO Owl, if you wouldn't mind introducing yourself a little bit further, but reminder, no names, no current companies. Go ahead. Yeah.
Yes, so first of all, thank you for having me. It's a real pleasure to be here to talk about how finance, operations, and technology are reshaping business today. So we work in the payments industry. We connect merchants with acquiring banks to deliver payment solutions. So I'm based in Western Europe, and I currently serve as a finance and operations director. I joined the company 4 years ago as the very first employee to help the founder set up operations and support growth. And since then, the company has grown rapidly, and I've grown alongside it as well. I hold 2 master degrees, one in marketing, one in entrepreneurship, with a strong focus on finance. And yes, I started my professional journey as a consultant, helping entrepreneurs build their companies from scratch, business plan, funding, marketing, legal, and administrative setup. And yes, I spent 7 years in that role, then 2 years at my country Ministry of Finance, before going back to the private sector. And yes, finally, I like to think myself as a generalist, someone who connects the strategic and the operational sides of a business. And yes, I strongly believe that the CFO is evolving into the Chief Future Officer. So today, finance is no longer about reporting or risk. It's also about designing the future of the company.
That's a really good one. I like that, CFO, because it just aligns so much with what we hear from other people in your seat. I think going forward in this conversation, we're going to have to refer to you as the Chief Future Owl, because that matches the wisdom that I'm sure you'll be sharing with us. And also, for those of you who are guessing or looking to jump ahead, the Chief Future Owl is somebody that us at Capto have known for quite some time and interact with frequently, but that's the final hint we're going to give to you, and we're going to encourage you to listen all the way to the end to reveal their true and full identity. So Chief Future Owl, I'm going to keep calling you that throughout the course of the call. What are some, you've had this career in finance spanning, public, private sector. I also really am enthusiastic, and it's great to hear that we have another generalist, somebody that sees finance being so much more than numbers. That's another kind of soundbite that we repeatedly hear from people within your role. But I guess maybe then zooming out a little bit more, like, why finance? Why do you continue to pursue a career, and what have you liked most about it in terms of your role? Go ahead.
Yeah, good one. So what excites me the most is the mix of strategy and execution, let's say. Being both CFO and head of operations allow me to see the business at every level, from daily tasks to long-term plans. So that view helps me connect what we want to do with what actually happens day to day and make sure our plans work in reality. So I love taking projects from start to finish and putting strategy into practice. Um, and of course, technology makes this even more interesting, even if I'm not an IT guy or whatever. But new tools appear all the time, and they let us improve processes very quickly.
Mm.
And as I often say, modern CFO must be system builders and make the system work for you. That means designing processes and tools so the company can grow without getting stuck on small daily problems. Yes,
Yeah.
that's basically it.
Yeah, no, that's great. And I think more and more so we hear about CFOs, what they're enjoying is that they're at the center of everything, and they describe their role as being almost like the hub of what makes the company tick. And I can see, especially with you, Mr. Chief Future Al, is that you were placed even into this role prior to, like, at the onset of your current position, right? Having that
Yeah.
operations aspect. I think that you had it by name and you had it by job description, but I would add that a number of CFOs are embracing that position, even if it isn't outward outward in terms of specifically called out in their role. So it's great to hear. I think that that's inspiration for other CFOs who are interested, or rising CFOs as well. And what would you say, though, as you've embraced all this, fundamental, strategic, and important position within your company, what do you feel is something that is still underappreciated about, whether it's your role or people in your role? Something that I like asking this question from the perception of, like, for another CFO, a person that wants to be a CFO, what's something that they feel like you feel like they should be understanding that people might not fully recognize in terms of their contributions?
Yeah, so many people think that CFO just manages budgets or are just there to say no.
Mm-hmm.
That is a totally wrong idea. Finance is no longer the department of no, it's the department of how. A modern CFO helps the company grow.
Mm-hmm.
So we support new ideas and decide how to use the money in the smartest way as possible. And every euro saved from inefficiency can be reinvested in innovation, growth, or tools that help the team. So a good CFO must understand all part of the company: marketing, HR, product, operation, etc. And finance is the lens that helps the whole company become more efficient, better aligned, and prepared for the future. And I can also add that finance can seem very boring from the outside: numbers, reports, invoices, etc. But in reality, we also deliver a product to our clients, partners, and also shareholders. This is always the same product. This is information, but that product can take the form of a clear invoice, report, insight, and it's our duty to make these outputs client-oriented as well. So we have like a marketing part also in our job. And efficiency matters, but I would say that clarity and usability matter even more. And from my operations hat, I see AI and automation not only as productivity boosters, but as tools that increase value for the clients. This is very important to highlight this. For example, when a client receives one clear invoice every month, covering all products once a month, 12 times a year, it simplifies reconciliation, improves cash flow, visibility, reduce confusion. So that's very important. That's not just internal efficiency, that external value.
Yeah.
And yeah. The same goes for automated reports. Behind every automation, we must keep the client perspective in mind, and AI should make things easier, not only for us, but also for those we serve.
Excellent, excellent. So, well, you've already jumped ahead to what is a normal kind of routine question that we ask on this program, and it sounds like a good opportunity for you to expand on some of these ways where AI and automation is not just delivering that efficiency and that speed, but also like actual client value. So the first question that we typically ask in this AI arena is, how and when did you start using it? What was an early use case that you could use as an example? A lot of the ways that sometimes we like to ask this question is, for somebody who's behind you in AI adoption, what are some ways that they could get started, or what are some motivational ways that you can encourage them to, take on a first project?
Yes, so I started using AI a few years ago when it became very easy for non-technical people to try. Like I would say, probably most people in my role. So I do not have a technical background, but I think that in a leadership role, it's essential to bring these tools into the business. Our first automation project was very simple, but also very powerful. That was simply automating daily client reports. So before, we downloaded a big data set, filtered it for each client, and sent a bunch of email manually every day. It took time, and even more important, I think it created errors, which is of course very bad for the image of the company. So working with Capto, we automated the whole process, and today it takes less than 1 second, and our client received accurate data each morning. So, as I like to say, also AI, and this is very important for, let's say, beginners. Sometimes we have very wrong ideas about AI. So AI doesn't replace people; it removes friction. It frees people to focus on higher value work, reduce mistakes, and speeds up delivery.
Yep. That's great. And I think one of the things that comes out in when we ask this question of how and when did you start using AI, and people respond that have been successful with leveraging it, like yourself, Mr. Chief Future Owl, is that it doesn't have to be overly complicated. It could be just something very simplistic that your organization has been doing, but has been doing it in a painstaking way. And we continue to cite that, called like the low-hanging fruit, not getting overly aggressive with what your AI and automation goals are, and just continuing to evolve and move towards that grand vision of of multiple agentic processes running. I think that in reality, what we see on our end is that the ones that are successful are the ones that are most simplistic and grounded in what they pursue. And it sounds like that is kind of part of what the experience that you've had as well. Would that be correct? Yeah. Yep. Cool. All right. So kind of talking about those aspirational uses of AI and where we think it could go. Now that you're on the pathway, and now that you've automated a few of those, call them, those mundane or those routine tasks, and those have now been put into production, what's getting you most excited in terms of something that you might be working on currently, or something that you would like to see AI expand into to address for your company? Let's take a more aspirational view of what it could be for you next. Any ideas or thoughts you'd like to bring to the table for our listeners?
Yeah, so right now we are working with Capto for building partner reports that combine different data sources into a clear and decision-ready PDF. So the goal is not only faster work, but better communication. So a report that nobody reads is just noise, and clarity is the real automation. When a report is clear, people act on it. So we are shifting from automation for, let's say, simple productivity to automation for insight, helping partners see the important signals early and make very smart and important decisions. And as I like to say, automation is the new compounding effect in a business efficiency. So small gains multiply over time, and they change all the whole organization runs.
Excellent, excellent. And as far as now moving back to this space where we really appreciate having automation practitioners, finance practitioners, a part of this program, because one of the things that they bring to the table is just pure advice for their peers. So from your perspective, Mr. Chief Future Al, what is some best ways for a peer to get started with AI, or maybe, let's operate under the assumption that people have a familiarity with what AI is. Like, where should they start going to actually, implement it as a part of their organizations, and what's some guidance that you would give them?
Yeah, so probably all of you already heard about this sentence, but I think that my first advice is very simple. It start now. The best time to start with AI was yesterday. The second best time is now. This is a little bit basic, let's say, as a sentence, but it's 100% true. So you don't need to be an expert, and I do not consider myself as an expert. You don't need to master AI. You just need to partner with with the correct partner, and begin with very easy tools. Use ChatGPT to write, summarize, or analyze. Use Zapier to connect the simple workflows. Also think about repetitive tasks and see where AI can remove some frictions. The goal is to free people from boring and repetitive work, so they can do, as I already said, meaningful, high value tasks. That's the human benefits of AI.
Great. All right. So we get to now wrap up the program. And for those of you who are listening in, we're doing this right before the holidays. So this is like, a great way for us to wrap year 2025 for Agents of AI. And really want to thank you, Chief Future Al, for participating and being somebody that helped us, get this program going. We have a fun traditions to help keep the program flowing. And one of those is, who is your favorite agent of AI? Meaning somebody that we should be following or listening to, or just kind of aware as they kind of build their presence in the AI landscape. Do you have any recommendations for us? And then at the end, we'll reveal who you are. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, so I may not be very original here, but I will start with someone very close to my daily life. This is the founder of my company, and I can reveal his name in a few minutes, of course. And yeah, this might sound a little bit personal, but the founder has an amazing long-term vision, and he senses the market trends early and is always very proactive. He constantly motivates the team to automate its tasks, to make the company more efficient, and to focus on what really matters. So I think that in the payment industry, yeah, this is a guide to follow. Not only for, of course, what is related to AI, as he's not a AI expert, but for his vision, for the way he sees things, he senses the market, etc.
Excellent. All right. Well, on that note, no more limitations. Let's if you scroll back over your settings and just reselect your avatar,
Yes.
that will reveal your identity, and we'll take a moment here. No rush. Oh,
Yes.
you did it quickly. All right. The tradition here at Agents of AI is that I don't introduce the person once they click themselves off. Please go ahead. For those of you who are watching, it's already a little bit aware because of the cool jacket that you're wearing, but go ahead. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, now that my secret is out, I'm Antoine Allard, 36 years old, and I serve, as I mentioned, as CFO and head of operations at eFlow Processing. So this is a Belgian company in electronic payments. And as I already said in the introduction, we connect merchants with acquiring banks to provide payment solutions. We also open, of course, merchant accounts and also help our clients to secure these accounts. This is the most important. So to secure these accounts over time with anti-fraud solutions, like for those in the industry, for like RDR, ETOCA, compelling evidence, order insight, etc. And what excites me the most is blending technology with human expertise. Automation with accountability, insights with impact. Finance today is not just about control; it's about confidence, speed, and also, as I mentioned, shaping the future. So to conclude, yes, I would like to first thank you for the opportunity to share my experience. So this is the first time, but it was a very great experience. And I also hope it encourages other finance leaders to see AI and automation as teammates.
Yep.
So tools that help people do better work and not things that replace them.
That ending point, Antoine. One, thank you for participating. Two, excellent job for somebody who's a first time participant in a conversation like this. And third, what you just said at the end, I don't think it could be repeated enough on our program. We are, regularly asked by people within your position or people in your arena, this pause and hesitancy. It's almost an undertone of refusing to move forward with AI and automation because of that fear. So you're 100% ahead of the curve in terms of acknowledging that it is a teammate and not a replacement. And I would encourage people to get in touch with Antoine. Antoine, if that's okay with you, maybe it's through LinkedIn, or if you want to share another way to reach out for a few reasons. One, to have that conversation and talk about that maybe in a little bit more detail, because I know that it's something that comes up in a lot of different ways in our conversations, both on this program and outside of it. And then second, I hope you don't mind, Antoine, you are partners and clients of Capto and have been for some time. So we want to encourage folks to reach out to Antoine to kind of have that conversation about what it means to work with our organization. We try to make this program not at all a commercial advertisement for Capto. Actually, we feature a lot of non-clients and people from just the industry in general. But Antoine, you are one of those unique people that has that perspective of what it means to work with a partner to build out your AI and automation projects. So we thank you for that exposure as well. So that's all I have for my I'll hand it back to you, Antoine, for final thoughts. One, I want to remind you to call out the name of the founder of eFlow. And then two, any potential ways to get in touch with you, learn more about eFlow for the people because there's a lot of payments followers that listen to that. I want to make sure that eFlow gets the proper commercial promotion as well. But leaving the final floor to you, sir. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, the founder is Benjamin Joyeux. So as you can imagine with my accent, we are both French-speaking guys. You can reach to us, both Benjamin as myself, on LinkedIn. And of course, I really encourage people from the payment industry, for those who don't follow him yet, to follow Benjamin Joyeux. So Benjamin in English, or the eFlow page, of course.
Excellent. All right. Well, thank you very much. Have a nice holiday to you, Antoine. Have a nice holiday to all of our listeners, though this one may come out in the new year. But thank you for joining, and we'll wrap now. So let me